July 26, 1945. In the historic, war-scarred outskirts of Berlin, within the quiet walls of the Sicilienhof Palace, the remaining Allied superpowers gathered to chart the final steps of World War II. From the Potsdam Conference, a stark, uncompromising ultimatum was broadcast across the globe to the Empire of Japan. Jointly issued by the United States, Great Britain, and China, the Potsdam Declaration presented the Japanese leadership with a definitive choice: surrender unconditionally or face immediate, prompt, and utter destruction. This declaration was far more than a standard call for a ceasefire. It served as the final diplomatic warning of the Second World War. For months, the Pacific theater had seen unprecedented bloodshed, from the volcanic soils of Iwo Jima to the burning hills of Okinawa. Now, with Nazi Germany completely defeated, the Allies turned their total, unified focus toward Tokyo, setting the stage for a critical, terrifying turning point in human history. To understand the historical gravity of this document, we must carefully analyze the exact terms of peace laid out by the Allied leaders. The Potsdam Declaration did not seek to completely destroy the Japanese people as a nation, but it was ruthlessly specific about dismantling its ruling power structure. First and foremost, the Allies demanded the permanent elimination of the authority and influence of those who had deceived and misled the people of Japan into embarking on world conquest. The declaration insisted on the complete disarmament of the Japanese military, the loss of all overseas territories seized since 1895, and the stern prosecution of war criminals. However, it also offered a glimpse of a post-war future, promising that the Allied occupation would be temporary, that fundamental human rights would be restored, and that a democratic reform process would be allowed to flourish, giving Japan a pathway back into the international community. But the core of the document remained its closing warning, a chilling, unyielding promise of the devastating alternative should Japan refuse to capitulate. It was an all-or-nothing proposition, designed to force the hand of the hardline military junta dominating Tokyo. The timing of the Potsdam Declaration was not a coincidence. It was issued in the profound, secret shadow of a new era in human warfare. Just 10 days prior to the ultimatum, the United States had successfully detonated the world's first atomic bomb during the Trinity Test in the New Mexico desert. When President Truman received the coded message confirming the test's success while at Potsdam, the strategic context of the entire war changed in an instant. The Allies framed this ultimatum not just as a standard demand for defeat, but as an urgent strategic necessity to end the global war swiftly. Conventional plans for a land invasion of the Japanese mainland, Operation Downfall, estimated hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of casualties on both sides. The Japanese military had mobilized millions of civilian reserves, prepared to fight to the absolute bitter end. From the Allied perspective, the declaration was a desperate attempt to force a diplomatic solution before unlocking a terrifying new tier of industrial destruction, presenting Japan with a window to surrender before the atomic age was violently unleashed upon them. In Tokyo, the response to the Potsdam Declaration was fatal. Prime Minister Kantaro Suzuki and his military cabinet chose to address the ultimatum with the word mokusatsu, a complex phrase meaning to treat with silent contempt or to ignore. This rejection of the declaration by the Japanese leadership led directly and irreversibly to the subsequent atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the rapid entry of the Soviet Union into the Pacific War, and the ultimate unconditional surrender of Japan on August 15th. The document stands as the definitive bridge defining the swift shift from global military conflict to the birth of the modern post-war order. It permanently reshaped the map of Asia, dissolved the Japanese Empire, and signaled the rise of a new geopolitical era dominated by the United States and the Soviet Union. The Potsdam Declaration was the final diplomatic act of an old world, and its terrifying execution permanently introduced humanity to the anxieties of the nuclear age. The Potsdam Declaration remains to this day one of the most significant, heavily debated landmarks in global diplomatic history. It serves as a haunting reminder of the moments when diplomacy runs out of time, and the words typed on a piece of paper carry the power to alter the fabric of civilization. As we look back at the closing days of World War II from the perspective of modern history, how do you assess the balance of power and ethics in the delivery of an ultimatum? Could a more specific warning regarding the atomic bomb have altered the Japanese response, or was total military devastation the only path left to conclude the conflict? We want to hear your analytical insights and unique perspectives, so please share your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you found this comprehensive historical breakdown valuable, please hit that like button, share this video with a fellow history enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the epic, world-shaping moments of our shared past. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.